The moment my fingers pressed against the side of the old wardrobe, a hidden click echoed through the empty hallway, revealing a sliver of darkness I never knew existed. My hands trembled uncontrollably as the beam of my flashlight caught the edge of a note on a table, written in a handwriting that chillingly mirrored my own. As I pressed against the side panel of the old wardrobe, a hidden click echoed through the empty hallway, revealing a sliver of darkness I never knew existed. My hands trembled as the beam of my flashlight caught the edge of a note on a table, written in a handwriting that chillingly mirrored my own. The first time I saw the wardrobe, it stood like an ancient sentinel in the hallway of my new apartment, its wood worn and whispering secrets of decades past. The realtor had mentioned the building's rich history, but I never imagined it would seep into my life so tangibly. There was something off about the wardrobe, an odd asymmetry that didn't quite match the rest of the space. Its presence seemed to warp the air around it, making it heavier, harder to breathe. But I brushed it off, too excited about the move to dwell on it. That night, as I unpacked the last of my boxes, curiosity gnawed at me. The wardrobe seemed to call out, its voice a silent hum in the back of my mind. I found myself standing before it, running my fingers along the grooves and edges, feeling the years of neglect in the dust that swirled around me. And then, a slight indentation on the side panel caught my attention. It was almost imperceptible, but my fingers seemed to know exactly where to press. Without thinking, I pressed it. A sharp click resonated through the hallway, and the wardrobe shuddered before slowly sliding aside, revealing a narrow passage shrouded in darkness. My heart pounded in my chest, a primal rhythm of fear and excitement. I hesitated, the rational part of my brain screaming at me to stop, to close it up and forget I ever saw it. But the curiosity, the need to know, propelled me forward. I grabbed my flashlight from the kitchen drawer, its beam cutting through the gloom as I stepped into the passage. The air was musty, thick with the scent of old wood and something else, something metallic, like blood. The floorboards creaked under my weight, each step echoing in the confined space. A few steps in, the beam of my flashlight landed on a small table, and there it was, a folded piece of paper. I reached out, my fingers brushing against the surface, feeling the texture of the paper, worn and fragile. As I unfolded it, my breath hitched. The handwriting was unmistakably mine, yet I had no memory of writing it. The words stared back at me, stark and foreboding. Don't trust what you see. They are already here. A chill ran down my spine, and the hair on the back of my neck stood on end. The feeling of being watched intensified, pressing down on me like a physical weight. I spun around, my flashlight darting wildly, but there was nothing, just the oppressive darkness and the suffocating silence. I tried to steady my breathing, to calm the panic rising within me, but the words on the note echoed in my mind, a relentless drumbeat of fear. I bolted out of the hidden room, slamming the wardrobe shut behind me. The sound of it closing echoed through the apartment, a finality that did little to comfort me. I leaned against the wall, my body shaking, my mind racing. Who had written the note?
Why did it look like my handwriting, and who were they? Over the next few days, I tried to convince myself that it was all a figment of my imagination, a trick of the mind brought on by the stress of the move. But the apartment seemed to have other plans. Strange things began to happen, each one more unsettling than the last. Shadows flickered at the edge of my vision, vanishing when I turned to look. Whispers echoed through the apartment when I was alone, too faint to understand, but loud enough to send a jolt of fear through me. I tried to rationalize it, to convince myself it was just the buildings settling, the sounds of the city seeping in through the old windows. But deep down, I knew something was terribly wrong. The wardrobe seemed to be the epicenter of it all, a dark heart pulsing with unseen energy. I avoided it, my eyes darting away whenever I passed it in the hallway, but I could feel its presence, a constant reminder of the note and the hidden room. One evening, as I sat in my living room trying to lose myself in a book, the wardrobe creaked open on its own. The sound was like a gunshot in the silence of the apartment, and I jumped to my feet, my heart pounding. The hidden passage yawned before me, darker and more menacing than ever. The whispers grew louder, more insistent, and I felt a pull, a compulsion to step inside. It was as if something in the darkness was reaching out, beckoning me closer. I resisted, my body shaking with terror, but the force was overwhelming. It was like trying to swim against a current, each step forward a battle against the unseen. As I stood at the threshold, the flashlight flickered and died, plunging me into darkness. The whispers coalesced into a single, chilling voice. "We've been waiting for you." I don't remember much after that. I woke up the next morning in my bed, the wardrobe closed and seemingly normal, but the note was gone, and in its place was a new one, the words even more terrifying: "You let us in." Since then, I've tried to ignore the wardrobe, to pretend it's just a part of the apartment, a quirk of the old building. But every night, I hear the whispers, feel the eyes watching me from the darkness, and I know with a certainty that chills me to the bone that I'm not alone. They are here, and they're not going away.
Last night, I dreamed of the hidden room again, but this time it wasn't empty. Shadows moved in the darkness, their forms shifting and changing, their whispers filling the air. And in the center of the room, a figure stood, its face hidden in the gloom. It reached out to me, its hand cold and lifeless, and as it touched my arm, I woke up screaming. I don't know how much longer I can take this. The fear is constant, a living thing inside me, gnawing at my sanity. I've started to see them in my waking hours, their forms flickering at the edge of my vision, their whispers a constant hum in the back of my mind. I try to ignore them, to pretend they're not there, but they're always watching, always waiting. I don't know what they want or why they chose me, but I know I can't keep living like this, a prisoner in my own home, my own mind. I have to find a way to fight back, to take control of my life again. But how do you fight something you can't see?
something that lives in the shadows and whispers in the dark. I don't have the answers, but I know I can't give up. I have to find a way to close the door I opened, to seal away the darkness and the whispers. I have to find a way to be free.
If it gave you chills, hit that like button, subscribe so you don't get lost between worlds, and write in the comments. Are you sure you woke up in your own world? See you in the next story.